Scrolling with Haley. Join Haley Caronia as she scrolls through the biggest headlines.
If you haven't watched this show before, we do blind reactions. I have not seen these videos, so I am seeing them for the first time with all of you. We're going to implement the tinfoil hat time segments and all the stuff you know and love. And I'm going to finish the show and answer some of your questions. Someone asked me what made you get into podcasting, and I was producing podcasts for other people. And I was like, I could do this for myself, and here I am.
Scrolling with Haley. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
This Jocks 94.5 podcast is brought to you by Millennium Satellite and Video. Log on to msbnow.com. TV excellence everywhere. That's Millennium. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning starts now.
Welcome back in. Hour number 3, McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, Thursday, July 16th, 9 a.m. right here on Jocks. We'll continue the college football conversation throughout this hour, update you on ACC Media Days. But first, he joins us at this time each and every week. Thanks to our friends at Coke and Piggly Wiggly. It's the coach, Wimp Sanderson. Coach, how we doing?
Well, I listened to your show yesterday, Cole, and you talked about how to introduce a guest. I know y'all don't have to do anything to introduce me because I always ask a football question. I always come into your show and I have a football question, because I think that's the best way for a dumb basketball coach to do on your show. But before that today, and I've got a really good question for you at the end of the show. I'm going to talk about something nobody else is going to talk about on your show, and that's the World Games. I'm just going to mention that. You know how much the winner of the World Games gets? 50.
The World Cup, not the World Games. Slightly different.
Okay. What else?
I'm actually more interested in the World Games.
I think if you win the World Games, you owe money.
I really want to know.
Well, whatever. Well, whatever I call it. $50 million.
I love it. Well, you're good, Coach.
50 to the whole team?
Yeah. Each player gets $700,000. Now, you don't hear that on your show very often. You're playing for a third and fourth, and you say, why you want to play for a third and fourth if you're not in the final game? Well, the reason is that the third place team gets $29 million. And the fourth place team only gets $27 million. So I think that's pretty interesting. I think second place, the Feds get Federation gives them $33 million. They come over here thinking that the United States is mean, scary, dangerous. You know where they like to go best of all? Walmart. They want to go to Walmart. You know why? You get free refills on all your drinks. Pretty interesting, don't you think?
It is.
And
I'd say
they also they like air conditioning, and they feel like that the food that they give them is more portable than it is overseas. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know if that's any good or not, but I thought it was.
Coach, I want to ask you a question about playing a certain role, because we brought up Texas Tech, and there's some more news on some things that were happening behind the scenes with the entire Brandon Sorsby situation. But did you enjoy sort of a villain role, playing the heel, going on the road when people were against you, be it media, fans, whatever that was? Did you ever relish in that? Did you try to push that onto your team as something that they could be motivated from?
You're darn right. We went to Auburn. They're gonna hate you. They ain't gonna like you at all. And I used it best I could, and you weren't around. But I'd throw that sport coat off early. I'd want them pistols off, but I also want our kids to know we got to play hard. We got to play harder. We got to play well. We got to get after it. They don't like you. They'll burn your house. They'll burn your house down, and kill your dog. And if you let them. So, yeah, I like to go in there where it was tough as nails. I never will forget one time my best. This is a halftime deal. I think I've told this before. One of my best teams went to Auburn, and I couldn't give them play. They weren't playing worth crap. And I mean, it was a great team I had. And I went in the dressing room and I was chewing their fan. I said, we're not doing anything. You don't want to win. I said, on top of that, when I went off the floor, Barkley winked at me, and they knocked the cotton picking door down getting out there. And I think trying to get your team fired up and ready to play is important, and being a horse's butt is important. I do. I don't. You can't go into coaching wanting to be liked. When I took the job at Alabama, I was disliked compared to the other coach. I didn't care. I wanted to, and what I wanted to do is this. I say it all the time on this show, so you say, Keith says it every time. I wanted them to feel like I did something for them after they left, not while they were playing. While they were playing, they weren't going to like it. But I wanted them to feel like and look back at it, and Robert Oyers and Spreewells and them, and I'm not bragging, but I think they realize that. I wanted it to be tough. I wanted to be tough-minded on them, and I wanted them to play hard. But I wanted them to get a degree, but I also wanted them to know that I cared about them. I think that's important. You get in a situation where you don't think they care about you, then you got problems. I don't know if that answers your question or not, but that's me. So.
No, it's great, and because we just talk about where Texas Tech is right now, it looks like that they are sort of the bad guy in college football. And
yeah, well, they've got the money. They've got all kind of money. They don't mind spending it. They're going to slide by the rules as best they possibly can. The Texas and Texas, look, Texas Tech wants to be Texas. Everybody wants to be Texas. They don't want to be. They don't want a second name there in the state of Texas. Isn't that right? They all would like to be what they think Texas is. All kind of money and all kind of prestige and all kind of society crap. And so that's both of them. Texas doesn't want that to happen. For them to come in with a great attitude, and they need to come in there, thinking we can beat Texas. But they've got so much money behind them. I thought a good thought on Auburn. Auburn is come out saying today that some of the players on your team will benefit from this game with Baylor because of the Affleck thing. Let me tell you something. That's a great thing to say, whether it's right or wrong, because you got players coming in there to visit, and you're trying to talk them into coming to your school, not talk them into it, but try to show them the advantages of it. But I recruited for a long time, and I think I did okay. But we just put out something about Affleck. I don't know what we're gonna get. But they're thinking they hear that sentence by the athletic directors or somebody, whoever announces it, and they get more interested there when they find out somebody, because we're in a money game right now. Greg, anything on that y'all want to talk about? So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a million things to hit on. I mean, I think the money stuff, I think the buy-in stuff, I think the talent stuff, and there's a million things, Coach. I mean, the other thing I'm curious about with you is, like, we had to answer, I'll do some TV this morning and talk about Dabo Swinney.
Yeah.
And talking about culture creation, we can talk about heel turn, we can talk about Texas Tech situation, we can talk about everybody wants to, whatever. I understand all that, but I'm most curious for you from a coaching standpoint. When it feels like the world has shifted underneath your feet, and you coach for a long time in many, many different eras. So when it feels like the culture is shifted beneath your feet, and it feels like the game has changed, and how do you embrace that change while still being true to what it was that allowed you to get to the point where you're at, where you're highly compensated and clearly a beloved figure in the state?
Boy, I tell you what, that's a good question and a cotton-picking hard answer. I mean, that's a darn good question, because things happen to you only off the court while you're coaching that things don't go good. I had people. There's one in particular guy that busted I got to the final 16 so many times and didn't get by that. It just killed me, and I was to my day I'm disappointed in not doing that, not getting there. But I think you just have to be yourself, and you have to just know that the kids. You can't worry about what the public thinks. If you spend a whole cotton picking time worrying about that, you got to be darn sure that your boosters, the ones who give you the money now, are the ones who helped you recruit. If they back then, my booster might go and give one of my best players I was trying to recruit lunch. Take the lunch tour. She's in a hospital or something. That's all we ever did. We didn't do any cheating. We didn't have any money. But I think your boosters have got to be on your side, and you got to understand who your boosters are and who your people are that just talk about it and don't do anything. And I think that's a big critical part. And I don't think I've answered your question, because that's a hard question to answer. But playing when I was coaching, we weren't shooting that many threes. Today, shooting more, we played inside outside. Today they play outside inside. If I'd been coaching today, they wouldn't have liked me, because if everybody had been shooting threes, I had played inside. I played inside out. I had good post people. We had good shooters too, but we didn't go by the three. Alabama does in basketball. So I think it's big. I want to know this from both of you. Are there ever, at times, and that offensive linemen want to show the quarterback where they stand?
No, not in game. If you're talking about in game, no.
Yeah, I
hate this so much. This drives me
is
crazy.
Is that a bad question?
You get your ass to the bench.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a way
I'm glad you're answering it great. Because I think it's a great question.
What's a basketball analogy for this though, Coach? Like if you have a ball hog, right? And he's taking all the shots.
Yeah.
And Robert Ory says, I'm not rebounding because Spreewell's shooting too much.
Same thing.
Robert Ory's going to the bench.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to hear from you. I want to hear from Greg too. I think it's such a good question. Sometimes, and here's the reason I say that to you. I think it's a good question, but I think money comes into play. I'm going to show the guys making all the millions of dollars that, he better be thankful for me.
Yeah, you're going to make no dollars. You're going to make no dollars because people are going to see the tape of you playing and getting beat and say, well, we don't want him.
Yeah, I know the quarterback takes the offensive lineman out to eat, or back so the money came into play. But I just wondered, and it's and I don't know it all the time, but there are times that I wonder about that. Greg, you got any thoughts on that? I think it's a good question.
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think it's, I don't know, Cole, like, how would you assess it in today's day and age, would you say?
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't think it can happen. You can't do it. You have to go do your job. And if you're jealous of the quarterback making more money than you, tough. Like, that's life. I mean, it's not the way the real world
that
works.
That happens, though.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I don't think
that happens.
But I don't think there are tackles that are letting defensive ends beat them because they're mad at their quarterback.
Well, I don't think
no,
that.
I think that's a misconception.
I think Greg's right. I think it happens, and I think that and our coaches and the coaching staff, and they're saying, what the crap's going on with this blocking six situation? It's not worth it. They're thinking to themselves, have we got a problem there with money-wise? Go ahead, y'all.
Not to that extent. Now, do you have to deal with jealousy? Sure. Do you have to deal with envy? Of course. But not from if a wide receiver is jealous that the quarterback's making more and he goes out there and drops passes from said quarterback, the quarterback's not going to get benched because he made a good throw. The receiver is, because he dropped the ball.
Yeah, right.
So now how do you handle the other stuff internally about a guy just being mad at the other? I don't know. We never had to deal with that. So it wasn't a real thing for us.
Neither one of you did. Neither one of you did much. I think probably Greg had to interview and be involved with it a little bit more. But I just think
But there can be animosity on a roster, though, and I think the animosity on a roster can expound when people are getting paid. Like, for example, like there were times when the offense hated the defense in college. Literally, hey, you're still friends, but like there are times like, golly, what are we doing? Like you're mad at the defense, you're mad at the kicker, or whatever it might be. And then the defense probably mad at us a lot too. Why the heck are they not like score? Like stop settling for field goals. Like this is ridiculous, Like animosity on a roster is not uncommon. I just think now basketball is different because it's not like you're taking guys off on offense and putting the defense out there and vice versa. Like you're playing both ends of the court. So you only have yourself to blame if for whatever reason you have a tough day. And you can play the best game all year on offense and lose in football. And that creates animosity. You think Texas Tech liked their defense? You think Patrick Mahomes liked his defense at Texas Tech?
Yeah.
Probably not a huge
Probably
fan.
not, right? So, and I think when guys are getting paid, it only makes that animosity higher. This guy's being paid what, and he's not performing? This is ridiculous. Like that, I can see where that could happen. I don't think it affects your play.
I
can see where that happens.
I hear you the other day, which I thought was really good. It's not this, where you just said, you know, I got a wideout on my team. You know, he never was opened. It never did work for him. And so I just, after I looked his way, I looked another way and threw it the other way. It wasn't about money for you because you're a heck of a quarterback. But it was, you know, if I'm going to throw it to you every now and then, you got to be open and catch it. And you know, there's a fine line between that and money. And I think to me, it's not ever asked on radio shows. Don't ask me, but it's just interesting to see, you know, how money, and because the money affects mothers, it affects girlfriends, it affects rich uncles. It just does. And it's everything is, you know. I'm giving $15 a month laundry money when I was a GA at Alabama, and he stood in line a mile long every 2 weeks to get a check for $7.50, and then here I am, you know, older than dirt, oldest guy on y'all's show, and see that is, to me, quite different.
It's very different. Speaking of different, I wanted to ask you one basketball question, because we've talked a little bit about sort of personnel in football and where some things are going on football. And there are a lot of people that think some of the old school stuff in football is coming back, that, you know, more tight ends, fullback, running the ball, you know, being able to possess the football, time of possession, things of that nature. It's coming a little bit more full circle. You brought up earlier, like, you didn't shoot as many threes when you were the head coach as what they do now, and how things are different. But do you see anything in basketball that is old school that's becoming new school again, like anything that is sort of coming full circle in the next few years?
Not much on the offensive end. Most of the people who are scoring and shooting threes and win championships, they'll take it. They'll have a combination of inside outside. There's no doubt about that. They'll take it inside as best they possibly can when they can. But the outside guys, first of all, you can recruit better if now that you're shooting a lot of threes. You know why? Everybody thinks they can shoot them. And sometimes these big guys who are recruited, you know, they're finding out that the big guys previous to them at the University of Alabama, Auburn, just got to shoot a lot of threes. They want to show you they can shoot them too. So they're interested in that, because I think the three-point shot is the way to go now. It was not the way to go for several of my years. It was a deal where we didn't have the threes at all, and then the latter part of my years, we did have the threes, and I can tell you right now, I didn't have my team shooting enough of them. I was old school and stayed with the inside game. But I had good inside players, but I don't know of, maybe the block charge is a little bit different than it was, but I'm not going to get into that. But not much on the offensive end. Defensively, just for our fans, you don't see much zone defense because they think they can't defend the three. You can defend the three with a zone if you teach it. But the problem that you have with coaches today is they teach the man. They never teach. You have to teach the zone. And the biggest thing on stopping people that shoot the three is contest. You got to, if I went into the dressing room at halftime and we hadn't contested shots, it wasn't a good halftime. We got to contest the cotton picking shot. We got to get in their face. And we were very athletic, and we did the one thing nobody would do. We left our feet on defense. We went after the ball. I had a lot of minority players. We went after the basketball as hard as we could and left our feet. Deflected a lot of shots. We felt like that was a way to play. We would play at practice. We'd play 4-on-5. We'd have 5 guys on offense and 4 on defense, and we'd get to the shooter with just 4 of them. And the 5 guys would move the ball fast. So that's what we did. Anyway, I think those are good things. And I always try to come up with a football question, but I thought that was a good one. Anyway, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola bring me to y'all every week, and I appreciate y'all having me on. I think you're terrific. I listen to you every day if I can see if I can find something to gripe about, but I can't. So I listened to you yesterday, and you were talking about introducing your guest and how you should introduce them. You ain't got, all you got to do is say we got that old basketball coach on. We can ask him something. We can ask him something. So anyway, I appreciate Coach and Piggly Wiggly to have me on. I appreciate you guys.
We love having you on, Coach. Thank you so much. We'll talk next week.
All right.
There you go. The Coach Wimp Sanderson joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline with us every Thursday at this time. We have a lot more to get to, a lot more college football coming up. We're going to talk Auburn, their trip to Atlanta to play Baylor in the opener. Some more details on what exactly that means. Justin Hokanson will join us to discuss that. Going to have to wait on that conversation. But, Greg, one thing you never have to wait for is your dental care.
That's because Famnica Dental has you taken care of at the urgent care office, where you can be seen the same day in several locations to make it easy on you in Hoover, Fultondale, Homewood, Alabaster, and Trussville. They can get you in. They can see you on Fridays and Saturdays, and they'll get you taken care of. And those routine appointments now include free teeth whitening. So give them a call today at 874-9605. That's Family Care Dental, 874-9605.
All right, we'll be back with some SEC talk next right here on Jocks.
Don't leave Jocks back at the house. Download the Jocks 94.5 app and take us anywhere, in the car, at work, or at the game. Live audio, video, and podcasts on your schedule. The Jocks 94.5 app, wherever you may be.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet. Go behind the scenes and beyond the headlines with the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
Mr. Sandman. All I ever wanted to be was a pro wrestler. So I got to live my life and make people really happy.
The Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels. Do you think there's anybody better than you were?
I think I was great at what I did, and I think other people were great at what they did as well. Greatness is more a mindset, I think, than anything else.
Mindset, motivation, insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
I will always have a complicated relationship with this game, but people evolve. So do sports. Do not make me regret this. Do not make me devolve back to that guy that so many clones wish that I still was. And do not embarrass the entire country. Now, I can go back. I can get there fast. Lose tonight, and you got a real problem. Do not blow it.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
You've been warned.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.